Baby beard!
Alright, I'm a delivery boy!
Who is Hermes planning on killing?
I think we should let the orphans run free.
You've redeemed funds.
Yeah, exactly.
You haven't.
He's just an old guy.
Can we talk about evil Lincoln?
Oh, of course.
Oh, this art needs to be sent. That's not the voice at all.
That's lobster tail. Let's make it the
Look,
Christmas.
let me ask you this.
He was just about to agree with you.
Shut up and take my podcast, why not?
They're not Jewish.
No.
They're Decapodians.
Definitely not
They're
Jewish.
definitely not
Jewish.
And Earthicans definitely aren't America.
No. They're not red, white, and awesome. What are you talking about?
Welcome, everybody, to your definitely not Jewish Futurama podcast.
Yeah.
Shut up and take my podcast. That Futurama podcast that pits episode against episode in bloody, glorious gauntlet battle for your entertainment. That was okay to say, wasn't it? It was fine.
Hoping we go around the room and it's like, not Jewish, not Jewish, not Jewish, no Jewish.
No,
You look a bit Jewish.
you do.
My grandparents are German and not Jewish.
Right,
so,
right, okay.
Bit of a
Oi.
we are joined here
Comedian
by
as well.
uh,
Sorry.
the
And a lawyer.
the ever lovely Phil.
Sorry, shyster. Oh, sorry. Were we doing
Stop
the
having
show?
your own conversation.
Were we doing the show?
Would you like to share with the class, you two?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah. Did Old Man Waterfall say he erected a flag made of his own skin?
By Josh.
I am brought to you by Nuns and Nunchucks, the secret arsenal of Mother Teresa. And we're joined by Sean.
I want a Secretary of Transportation to carry me everywhere.
I mean, you can hire someone.
If you're your own country, I guess.
Yeah.
if
Do
I'm
that, yeah.
Nixon.
Yeah. Or you're a head in a jar.
And, Ellen's gone again.
Where's she going?
She was here last week.
Yeah.
Where'd she go?
I think Aaron the pterodactyl took her, which, if that's not at the end of the episode, Chris, I'm going to be very disappointed.
And this would make no sense.
Yeah, exactly. So you cut to the end of the episode and then cut back to this part of the episode and you'll find out.
Also, now available, Aaron the Pterodactyl t-shirt. Get them, everyone.
We don't have the logo t-shirts. We go straight to
Straight
a joke.
to Aaron.
The
a very
P
in joke.
the P is silent, but Aaron is not.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are up to season 4, episode 5, A Taste of Freedom. This is a very specific reference. So can anyone tell me what this is in reference to?
Is it like a tale of freedom or something?
No, it's A Taste of
A
Freedom.
touch of freedom. Oh, taste of freedom.
Is it a movie?
Guys,
Propaganda?
How did you
film?
not get this? It was the autobiography of Peng Ming Min, who was involved with Taiwanese democracy.
The Peng Min Pin?
The
I
Peng
feel that
Ming
I
Pin.
feel that might be a coincidence.
No, absolutely not.
No, I just think that.
Just
yeah.
forgive me for
This is
putting
what
that out there.
Sean
I saw the
googled
word-
a taste of freedom, and that came up, and he's like, "That's what
Done.
it's referring to."
It's got the word democracy in it,
So
so
eclectic.
there's your tie. There's your tie.
Yep, and also Zoidberg eats a thing. There's your time.
There's your tie. Taste, freedom, get it, move on.
This is
Awesome.
more than democracy. This is anarchy. That's their idea of freedom in this episode.
Yeah, you and I looked at each other, and it was like, "This is the Purge.
Yeah,
this is
yeah,
friendly
that's
Purge.
right.
This is like the Purge without crime."
We need to ask the director what he thinks about it, like what he thought it was about.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sure.
the director's name is James Purden, by the way.
Oh, Sean's segues are getting better.
They
Back
can't-
from
yeah.
I dated a robot.
Oh.
And I realized my little tidbit that I usually include was kind of topical back when we thought we were going to record this. Because what I've written down here was, it's his 47th birthday today.
It
no longer is.
Yeah.
So your tidbit is now, he's 47 years
Yes,
old.
he is 47 and has been for a number of weeks now.
Way to date
Whoa.
this episode.
Yep.
Well, I'd bring in the trivia for our listeners that are like, oh, I feel embiggened.
Every year he has a birthday. And
So if you want to know when this when this was going to be recorded,
Yeah.
look up his birthday, and then you'll know, and you won't be any the wiser.
and
No,
then
not at all.
judging by Ellen's absence, because God damn it, Aaron has been introduced, so we'll work out when the shirts go on sale, and then we're able to work it all out.
But you know, we'll. I was going to segue this into the writer. I couldn't do it. So the writer for this episode is.
I could have given you a segue if you wanted.
No, I was going to do something to the effect of, we need better writers on this podcast.
I was thinking that's wrong thing to say, and we should really do the right thing.
Hey, who is Eric Horsted?
Ah,
Who's back from Bending in the Wind.
ah, Oh wait, no, we
That's
like that
great.
episode.
I love that episode.
No, we like
I
that
love
episode.
that episode.
I'm just
It's one of
used.
my all-time favorites.
I'm just used to preparing for being like, to episodes, and then I'm like, oh yeah, pleasantly surprised.
Oh yeah, we actually like this show. Oh, all right, okay.
Yeah.
I can make you make that noise.
Okay, go on.
So Eric Horsted was a writer and co-executive producer for the TV show Reba.
I liked Reba.
Oh my god, Reba's awful.
I liked Reba.
Reba's so
Is that the one about
awful.
the redhead country singer?
Yes.
I liked Reba.
it's so
Sean was unable to make me go.
I have literally no idea what these two are talking
You know, like
about right now.
you know, that show when Bette Midler had that show about like her being like a family person. No, okay. Basically, it's like
Shaking his head, Phil is.
it's like Everybody Loves Raymond, except Raymond is a country singer and a single mother.
And not funny.
She was fine.
Not.
She was cute.
That's not an
She
analogy
was
for
funny,
humor.
and she was cute, and she had a southern twang, and she was a good American Christian, Sean.
That's
She's a good American Christian.
Do not want to watch this.
I want to watch Reba now.
You watch Roseanne, don't you?
I haven't in years.
Good. And we can watch Last Man Standing as well. Why not?
I've got to go home and watch Reba after this. I'm so excited. I forgot about that show.
You know what?
Thank you, Sean.
Do it.
Do it in your own time. Don't tell us about
Yeah, there you
Thank
go.
I'm going to start my own podcast about Reba.
Air
Go
date
for it.
for this episode was in the year of 2002, 3 days before Christmas, which would make it
November 3rd.
correct. Absolutely correct. If you're
Fire.
Yeah, you know what? For all our Jewish listeners out there, that's correct as well. That's how it works, doesn't
You have
it?
to phrase your answer as a question.
Do I?
If we're doing the bad stereotype of Decapodians, hey!
Yeah, not Jewish. They're not Jewish.
Not Jewish at all. December 22nd, by the way, just to...
Just so you don't believe Josh's bullshit.
Just to patronise everybody at home or in your car.
Introducing Frida Waterfall.
Oh, yes.
The
Who is a feminist.
Yes.
Right. If in case you didn't get that from her one line of dialogue where
Yeah.
she talks about the manosphere.
clearly voiced by a man.
Yes.
absolutely.
And also, as per the Waterfall tradition, she didn't die because this isn't centered around her.
Yes. If you are
Yes.
focused on
If it's
and
the
on
first
Waterfall.
time that you are the focus, you die.
I love the fact that they make no acknowledgement that they've met and seen killed two members of his family.
Three.
Yeah.
Three, sorry.
Yeah.
Three. So one was eaten by Lur.
Yes.
Yes.
One was
problem with
devoured by
By
penguins.
penguins, yeah.
And now one's crushed by
No,
the,
I mean when they meet him, they've
yeah.
already witnessed two of his,
His
relatives
families,
die.
yeah.
Oh, yes.
and
very
they
much so.
make no acknowledgement of that.
No, why would they?
In rating the deaths of the waterfalls, which one do you think is the best? Because I still think Poplar's getting eaten by Lur is
Best,
the best.
as in, what do I
Most
endure?
satisfying.
I like the follow-up to it, especially something funny about
That hippie, yeah. That's a great joke. Oh, now I'm going to talk about Poplars. No, and Reba and Poplars. So when do we see Old Man Waterfall?
Old Man Waterfall comes at the end of the Penguins where he runs and he goes,
That's
I'll
right.
avenge you!
That's right.
That's
That's
right.
right. It's been a long
Background
time.
for no reason. It's
Yeah,
great.
I like Old Man Waterfall.
He probably lost a limb there or something.
Yeah, defending Earth.
against penguins.
Just as a quick thing, just so I can, so I'm aware, as far as 90s sensibility is concerned, he is a satanic, bisexual, polygamous lawyer.
Yes.
Who believes in
Veteran.
people's freedom and laying down his life for his country or his world and those who would do what they want to do.
Wow, so from a 90s perspective, he is the most hated person on the planet,
Yeah.
really.
I mean,
Yeah.
he got booed.
Yeah.
Booed in a court.
He got booed for being a bit gay as well, and that just made me cringe.
Yeah.
I cringed a lot.
I mean, that's the point of the...
I guess, yeah.
I mean, they're commenting about it, literally,
True.
because they literally pile on everything that is quote-unquote
Bad about
bad.
it, yeah.
And the episode's just about dealing with hypocrisy.
Exactly.
But speaking of the episode,
Hey!
This is the story of how Zoidberg starts a war between what's the planet called?
Decapodia.
Decapodia and Earth.
Yeah.
Over his constitutional right to eat a flag on Freedom Day.
I mean, it's not Zoidberg's fault. It's Earth's fault for starting the war. They attacked embassy.
They did attack an embassy, yeah, which is foreign. So they started the war and they retaliate. Yeah. I think you can. It's fair to say Zoidberg started the war overall.
Yeah.
Like he kind of is the catalyst for everything
And
happening.
then later
Can
he
I-
started the fire.
Can I do it? Can
Do
I do
what?
the thing?
Yeah.
Do what?
What do we think, guys?
So I'm not Jewish, but I am a lawyer. So
Yeah.
just we're going back to our previous conversation.
Just look quite Jewish.
Thank you.
That's
You
all right.
don't look
No,
lawyery.
no,
Thank you. It's
That's
the
also
it's
true.
the it's the Pikachu shirt, isn't it? I think that this is a good episode that dips and then gets good again.
You feel it just loses its way a bit in the middle.
I think the beginning is great, and then the Decapodian stuff. I wrote down. Okay, we have a I voted for Kodos moment of the Simpsons Halloween episode where Kang and Kodos, and then
Don't blame me.
yeah, and they're all enslaved at the end, and they're building the thing, and it cuts away, and it's like, okay, we're just having that moment. And then at the end, we have this nice moment of, freedom. Zoidberg realizes his home planet is Earth all along.
Yeah.
He realizes that the thing was inside of him the entire time, which is my favorite ending to a joke ever.
I do like they come down on the side of things where having a flag or an object like that be sacred is less important than the fundamental values that it represents.
Absolutely. The moment that the court case ends, that's when the episode drags for me. That's the bit where I'm like, this is fine, but it's not as good as the beginning. The beginning is really nice, and the ending is good as well.
Yeah, my overall impressions are actually that the beginning is actually a little weaker than some other parts.
Really?
I
I
agree.
just feel like it takes a while to get going. I don't remember this episode very strongly.
Neither.
From my first casual viewing of Futurama. I don't really remember this episode at all. And then I was like, while the Freedom Day speech was going on, Nixon's talking. I'm like, when does the plot of this episode happen?
Yeah.
When's the
There's
inciting
that-
incident?
There's the joke that, he keeps, Nixon keeps using advertisements.
Yeah.
Yes,
And
yeah.
it just drags a bit
It
too
drags
long.
a lot, yeah. You think he's getting to the point, and he's like, actually, it's a Charleston.
And I get that's a
yeah.
joke. I
Yeah,
just think
yeah,
the joke
yeah.
doesn't
I
land.
actually
But
wrote
it's
down.
just, yeah.
I wrote down Shankman joke misses the mark. That was not a good joke. The Shankman the Shankman rub, and it's like everything. I'm like, okay, that one doesn't hit.
And they double down on that joke with Hermes,
but
right?
then the Charleston Chew joke does hit.
land, yeah.
And I think that's kind of a good thing in a way. But that, again, I don't like the Shankman.
But I
Also,
think by
Shankman just
then-
makes me think of the director from Hairspray. Adam Shankman, I think his name is.
I know Reba. I don't know Adam
just not-
Shankman.
It's just not a very funny product. I
No,
think.
but
rubbing powder.
But the Charleston Chew is, and then later on, it's just like with the Decapodian, it's
Chew.
like Charleston Chew. It's like, of course. It's like
If I was
Throwback.
Hermes, if I was an actual actor and I got given that line, I'd be
You
like,
are
what
an
the
actual
fuck do I
actor.
get this
Yeah,
line?
yeah, this is dumb.
It's a shit line.
it's like this is my line for the episode.
Cool.
Great, great.
I'm just
Well,
not
no,
gonna
he has a
turn
good
up.
line of, that'll feel great on my shattered bones.
Yes, true.
So, my overall impressions, I love the overall tone of this episode, which, you know me, I love episodes that get really silly.
Yeah.
Because you're a silly boy.
I have a ridiculous sense of humour. If you
silly filly.
ever get to hang around with me and my wife, we just bonkers.
And he's inviting you to.
Yeah, exactly. First
Please
comment.
do. We get so lonely.
First comment gets to spend a night with Phil and his wife.
Silly filly and his willy.
Depends on what you look like. No.
I'm commenting. If you look like me,
Wait, I need to do this.
Polygamist.
Don't look
Yeah,
you're
my
married.
overall impressions that the tone of the episode and a lot of the gags I really like. I think it the very first scene I like. It's funny and silly.
freedom.
freedom.
Oi,
Wait.
great.
And
You can learn that dance at home, by the way. It's pretty simple.
It's just the Cossack dance.
Just the Cossack dance, literally the Cossack. They're doing a Russian dance about a very, very American concept.
Yeah.
It's freedom.
Yeah, and the Decapodian flag is basically the Soviet flag of the hammer and claw instead of the hammer and sickle on the
didn't notice that.
torture palace.
Yeah,
There's the, you
didn't
see.
notice that.
It's a really cool flag, unlike the Earthican flag, which is so lazy.
Oh, it's
It's
dumb.
just like,
lazy.
you just took a photo of the Earth.
Look at the Australian flag. The Australian flag is pretty lazy as well. It's just like a Union Jack in the top left-hand corner and stars.
As a side note, I find it miraculous that every nation on the planet has a flag. Like, we've all just accepted that.
I think it comes from the era of ships.
Yes.
Right.
So
Fly
you
your
need
colours.
you need a quick way of identifying who does that ship belong to.
Why not just
and
write the
flags-
name of the
A bit hard to read.
Also, if
And a
you
lot of people can't read.
That's it. You lure them close. By the time I read, then you fire on them.
well, I mean, that's how the Jolly Roger came about. They found like bones within like French crusaders that had like written on it like Julie Rouge, which was like the something red, and they were like,
Yes.
and they found
Yeah, yeah.
skulls, and they were like, oh, the Jolly Roger.
Yeah, but it means like the red flag. Or
Yeah,
something.
something. So it's like that's what we'd have. We'd have a bunch of like El Shippo, and it's like the El Shippians.
See, don't say you don't learn anything on this podcast.
That's right.
Because you don't.
do.
You
You
do.
do.
So I feel it just takes a while after that kind of nice, strong, funny opening.
Yeah.
I'm like, where's it gonna go? Takes a bit long to get to the inciting incident, and then I agree. The middle meanders a bit, loses its way, and then it finishes strong.
Yeah. I like the court stuff. The court stuff, and even I think the beginning stuff is nice just to show that it's like, the freedom of speech has now led to a point of like everyone is free to do something. It's the friendly purge.
I loved that. So what does Old Man Waterfall say? He says, I don't have to agree with what he did, but I'll fight for his right to be able to do it. And Josh nods and goes, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a libertarian
Yeah.
kind of standpoint.
There's
right?
also, I forget who it is. There was someone,
Right.
famous American, something in history was like,
Lincoln.
I won't
Stop helping.
I won't defend what you say, but I'll fight for your right to say it.
Yes.
And I'm
Evil
like,
Lincoln.
yeah, evil Lincoln. Indeed. But yeah, I love that idea. It's the idea of you are free to do whatever you like, and the consequences are on your head. But the idea as well is like, I will defend your right to do what you think is right.
Yeah, within the bounds of the law.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
I have a question, Mr. Lawyer.
Yes.
First of all, this is the double-pronged question. The first question being, has Hyper Chicken always been a lawyer for the side of the court, or has he sometimes been a defendant against the courts?
Well, I mean, I got to go through his long, illustrious legal career.
Because in what we've seen him so far,
Yeah.
he's been in a number of episodes. I feel
Been
like,
the prosecutor a couple of times.
Yeah.
has he been a defendant before? Because
Doesn't someone hire him and he does
That's
a
what
really
I
bad
thought.
job for them?
Because
I
then
can't
my
think
question
so.
is-
Yeah.
can you... This shows my ignorance. Can you be both?
In America, I think if you're a state prosecutor, it's like an election thing, so that's just inconsistent. So
yeah. Okay, I was going to ask whether you legally
I don't
can.
think you can at the same time.
No, you can't.
No,
It's
no.
like if you're a public prosecutor, you are a public prosecutor. I think you can represent in civil. Again, I don't know the American legal system
Yeah.
too well because
Or the Earthican.
Yeah.
So
legal system.
potentially he just got a good offer.
Yeah.
And decided
Yeah,
to
he
work.
may
So
have moved from defense.
Yeah.
good on the Hyper Chicken for
Well, I mean,
moving
like,
up in the world.
in Australia, it's like the Department of Public Prosecutions, the DPP. So if you're working for the Department of Public Prosecutions, you are a prosecutor for the department. You don't get to then be like, I'm going to defend people in the legal system. It's like, oh,
Using my intro knowledge.
yes. And anyone who wants to fight me on that, more than welcome to. I'm probably wrong.
Email babybeardmedia@gmail.com.
We'll
Just,
set that up. We'll
put
set
a
up a
s-
fight.
Yeah, put a smiley face afterwards, and I'll know that you love me. Also, the pain monster.
I'll see you
yeah.
August 15th or whatever.
Yeah, it's just like
Tax
anyone
day
who
is.
doesn't want to pay their taxes has to suspend a day with the pain monster. See you all April 15th. I like the pain monster.
I'll take him.
Nice, isn't it?
He's
Yeah,
so
yeah.
lovely.
I'd rather take him than pay my taxes. It's all
And
good.
Bender's slight function is that he can operate as a train.
Yes. Freedom train.
Out of the way,
There's a
fatty.
cow catcher on the
Yes.
front, yeah.
So
Also, Michelle was in the crowd then.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, she was
Yeah,
there
yeah.
on the side, and she was one of the people about to attack Zoidberg on stage.
Oh, okay.
Oh, lovely.
Michelle's
Yeah,
getting busy this
Michelle's
episode.
back, baby. She ain't with
back,
Paulie
baby.
Shaw.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That clearly didn't work out.
I can't imagine why.
Oh,
Not that
buddy.
he's
Yeah.
insufferable. I really like the Morbo moment.
I was just about to say,
in this
what's on
episode.
Morbo's chest?
What is there?
It's better left to the imagination.
Is it just a
One of
gaping
those-
hole?
Yeah.
One of those classic jokes. And also that Linda flashes
Zap.
just off screen.
She's a true, Earthican, supporter of
and
the
he's
military.
just like, thanks, Linda.
Anything. I'll take anything, even an angle. Yeah, it's and it's also not just that one scream, but it's that double scream.
Oh.
It's like scream, realizes it more,
Yeah.
and then the more horror comes through. It's
There's
lovely.
the initial scream of just seeing something, and then when it computes what the hell that
Yeah, it is actually.
is.
It's quite subtle, isn't
Yeah.
it? There's the oh my god,
And then the
there's
animation changes,
Then
yeah.
the actual attempt to comprehend what she's
the
seeing. yeah.
incomprehensible.
I think
of
maybe
Morbo.
it's sort of like a dimension-defying Cthulhu-esque kind
Yes.
of thing going on.
The-
that's what's in
the
my
Eldritch
head.
horror.
Yeah, that's what's
Yeah.
in
Maybe
my
you
head.
can only understand it if you have Schmischen. I'm going to harp on this. I need
You-
to know
you
what
do
Schmischen
You
like
will
your
not
Schmischen.
let Schmischen go.
I'm enjoying this episode as well because it aged really well. Like the idea of freedom, the idea of like what you represent and what your country / world wants, and also even the idea of like after the Julian Assange hanging out in the embassy situation. I was like, man, this is really topical again. It's coming full circle.
I just like the wording, like you've taken 5 years of his time to be like, he's just hanging out.
Hanging out, yeah.
Just hanging at the
I mean,
embassy.
that's what Zoidberg was doing. So
It's
Hanging
almost like this
out.
episode is topical,
Manipulating
yeah, a
elections.
little bit. Like, yeah, as you do. You hang out a little bit here and
Yeah,
there.
just
Ecuador.
casually have asylum. It's all good.
Yeah.
Casually release some hacked.
Why couldn't Hank Azaria be in this episode as a Decapodian rather than the Lobstertainment? I would like him in this one.
Oh,
Yeah.
Harold Zoid.
Yeah. I'd
Yeah.
prefer if, like...
Oh, that was his, because
Yeah.
he was always going to be a Decapodian.
Decapodian. I would have preferred if he was in this episode. I wanted him to be the representative, the head of the embassy.
The representative, why not?
Yeah, that would have been great. Like, that would have been so much better. It would have been a better character as well, I think. And this episode is better than Lobstertainment, so...
How do we feel about the obvious Jewish
The
stereotype?
Jewish, not Jewish?
Can we,
I mean,
can we
it's-
bring that up?
It's always been there, and now it's...
Yeah, I just kind of like, it's okay with Zoidberg having Jewish mannerisms.
Yeah.
It's just part of his character.
But then his entire
everybody,
race is-
when it's
yeah.
like, I know it's a schlep, and you're just like, oh my
Yeah.
God,
I guess
really?
it's the difference
Were you
between,
doing Yiddish
like-
and stuff?
Yeah.
Because Hermes, for example, is very much the Jamaican stereotype, but it's just the one character.
It's the one
And
character.
Barbados Slim as well.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's very true.
And
That's
he
very
has
true.
he has more to him, and also the idea of him being an uptight bureaucrat is a nice play against the I'm Jamaican, I'm
That's
laid
it.
back.
It's
I
very
mean-
much it's a flipping the Jamaican stereotype on
Yeah,
its head. Like,
totally.
instead of being laid back and just smoking and
I'm
being
not saying
in
you
a
can't-
bobsled and
Yeah, I'm not saying you can't have ethnic characters. That's
Yeah.
dumb and oversensitive. But like,
whatever do you mean, Phil?
And we're
Wait a
right back on the Cockney train.
but yeah, when all of them are like hilariously like. Like, there's even just a woman in the embassy who's like a nice Yiddish woman who brings him cocoa. Like,
Yeah.
Oh, also they're
It's-
all the same Jewish
They're all
stereotype.
the same
They're
Jewish
just-
stereotype,
It's
yeah.
just a bunch of Zoidbergs.
Yeah. I mean, like, I think, going back to Lobstertainment, it was acceptable because it was his uncle, and it's like,
Yeah,
okay, they're
it's his
family.
family.
But then
and
you're
it's
like,
also a Hollywood thing
yeah,
as well, right?
yeah. But now you got the entire race being all...
Even the politicians.
Yeah,
like,
it's that question. It's like the idea of like playing characters in a comedy. There are three types of characters. There's you, there's the stereotype, and then there's the fully fledged character that isn't you with like backstory and wonder and everything. And the third one is like, really hard to do, and the first one is boring. So a lot of the times people will fall on the stereotypes.
Yeah.
People will get that, they will laugh, and it's a cheap laugh.
But it
But
works.
it's a laugh.
It's a laugh.
It's not. I wouldn't. I'm not trying to hand wring. I don't think
No,
it's
no, no.
offensive.
No.
I just think it's a bit lazy and doesn't feel
Lazy's
right.
the word.
Yeah.
Lazy's the word.
That's
yeah.
the thing in the episode that doesn't age well. The ideas and the theories that, like, the hypocrisy of freedom, and freedom is ages well, but the idea of, like, and they're all Jewish, isn't that weird? It's like, oh, okay, let's take that back.
There's I guess there's the inversion of the Jewish being the invading force, the oppressors,
Yeah.
which is a bit strange.
There's also something nice about you take the Jewish stereotype, which is generally that they're rich and they hold on to their money, right? Whereas the opposite is Zoidberg just doesn't have money to begin with.
Yeah, he's terrible with money.
Yeah.
Cannot make any. I do love the sequence of him remembering how hard it was to find freedom on his
Yep.
home planet.
Yes.
When they're like, you do you want to be a lawyer? And he's like,
A doctor.
a doctor, yeah.
It's like,
No, I want to be a comedian.
yeah, it's like, you want to give up, going to medical school. You're going to give up your dreams of being a comedian?
You just can't win.
No wonder Zoidberg is such, like, as socially awkward as he is. He had an awful upbringing.
Yeah, I mean, his aunt raised him from the looks of it because, as you pointed out, it's like you want your parents to roll over in their grave.
graves,
because in canon, for him to be born,
His parents must be dead.
his parents must be dead.
Yes.
And that's the thing, looking at it, you're like, is this why all Decapodians are shits? Because they're raised by people who don't get to have sex ever and are just frustrated and horrible.
Just, yeah.
Yeah.
Ah.
But no, that's not fair because Zoidberg,
It's not fair.
It's not fair.
Zoidberg hasn't had sex, and
Yes.
he's not frustrated and angry.
Oh.
Nature versus.
Did you see that episode where he got frustrated and angry?
Yeah.
No, I missed
because he
that
hadn't
one.
had sex.
I've only
Yeah.
done this for a year and a
I
half.
think I think that all of them develop some sort of mental like shortcomings or psychological shortcomings because of the treatment. So some of them will become aggressive and horrible, and others will become downtrodden and broken. And that's what Zoidberg's becomes.
They're an odd lot, the
Yeah.
Decapodians.
Yeah.
They certainly are.
They're really like when you really look at it, you're like, that's really messed up.
Also, it's interesting to note that in the end, Zoidberg did decide to become a doctor.
Yeah.
So he's just like, well, God, I've already fine. I just have to become a doctor. And
Yeah.
he feels awful about it. and he just represses the comedian dream
I
up
do-
until lobstertainment.
I do love every time that I remember that his name is John.
John A. Zoidberg.
Every time it's like Dr. John Zoidberg, I'm like, oh yeah, his name's John. I love it.
Do you reckon that's his way of, what you call westernizing your
Yes,
name?
yes.
Like, so clearly he has a different name.
Yeah.
Like, Flangler.
Wow,
Yeah,
Flangler,
yeah, yeah.
really?
Flangler
really-
Zoidberg, that's canon now.
I think it'd be Crabclaw.
Crabclaw Zoidberg.
I was really hoping he would ink some people.
Yeah.
In this episode.
What
Because he
happened
has
was
to
if-
flee, right?
Yeah.
So it's prime opportunity for it to
It'd be
ink
great
someone.
if he inked Nixon, then Nixon just had little windscreen wipers
Ah,
on
that
his...
would have been best.
I
Best
like
would have been
Zoidberg's
best.
speech. Zoidberg's speech is really great about there as well. It's like, I ate your flag as a show of freedom to represent what freedom is. And
Yeah.
it's that moment of like, no one gets it. And then just Nixon just, kill him! Kill the traitor! It's like, oh, yeah, and it's such great hypocrisy in this
It's
episode.
flag worship is a big
Yeah.
thing in America.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I was going to ask about that. Like, is that a... I mean, that's like the number one patriotic sin, isn't it?
Burning the flag.
To
Yeah.
burn the flag.
Yeah, yeah.
Or desecrating the flag in any way, shape, or form.
It's
Yeah.
a social sin.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's not illegal.
Uh,
Maybe it is. Maybe it is, actually.
In America, I don't want to speak out of turn here.
Yeah.
I think
but
it might be.
You know what? I'm actually going to
We're
Google.
gonna Google
I'm
it.
actually interested in
Google.
that. But I do know that, like, it's the same argument of, it's like,
At the very least, it's highly frowned upon.
well, it's like, don't desecrate the flag, but here is an American flag underwear, and here's an American flag shirt. And
Yeah,
it's like,
that's right,
that's
yeah.
the
Yes,
same
wear the flag
thing.
on
Yeah.
your crotch. It's fine. Just
Yeah,
don't burn
that's
it.
fine. Yeah,
Yeah, as long as you're rubbing against it and not rubbing sticks on it, then we don't mind.
You can trivialize it in many, many ways.
Yes, but just as
Just
long
don't-
as it's not on
Just
fire. Or,
don't damage it.
yeah.
Yeah.
American
So that thing where he sets it on fire to save the planet is a really nice inversion of that. It's
Yeah.
I think it's quite clever and quite
even the
simple.
acceptance at the end and like the idea of he's allowed to take a bite out of the flag because it's that thing of like, oh yeah, it's a flag, it's a symbol,
Yes.
not the world itself.
Sure.
You're not shitting on the world, you're simply expressing the freedom that the world is allowing you to do.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
that.
Don't shit on the world, everyone.
In the case of the Supreme Court, Texas against Johnson, 491 U.S. 397, 1989, and reaffirmed in 1990, the Supreme Court has ruled that due to the First Amendment to the United States Constitution, it is unconstitutional for a government, whether federal, state, or municipal, to prohibit the desecration of a flag.
So you can burn
Yes,
it.
it's a freedom of expression.
Yeah, it's unconstitutional for the government to say
No, you
can't,
cannot.
You
No,
can't
no,
do
no.
that with an object
Yeah.
because it doesn't harm. As long as you're not like committing arson or something,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
your right to do whatever you want with a piece
Yeah,
of
the
fabric.
I feel like it still won't go down well.
No, it's a massive. I
Faux pas?
hesitate to say faux pas because it's a little
massive
bit
faux
more
pas.
serious than a faux pas.
As
Do
So-
not lie to the flag, please.
As Phil was saying, it's a social and moral crime, not a legal crime.
Yeah, that's
it's that idea that you will be persecuted because they will then point at you and say you are unpatriotic. But
You are un-American.
But it's like, no, I have the right of freedom of expression and speech. Because in America, it's the Bill of Rights. Here, we just have rights that it's like, oh yeah, rights change, so let's update them every now and then.
Yeah.
Who's that? You there? What's your name?
Human.
Sorry, I had to go back. I know there was a complete
Brannigan-
non sequitur, but I fucking
Oh, it was
loved.
great. And also-
I loved
Is-
Human.
Brannigan gets fooled by the worst names. First it was Lee Lemon.
Yes.
Now it's Human.
Lemon.
Human. And also I love it that Decapodians like just always have like things on their what do you call it?
Tentacles.
Tentacles.
Yeah.
Like, Zoidberg had the
Fake nose.
fake nose.
Yeah. And Pride Mucus when he's looking at the flag.
Yeah,
It's
nice
just like-
little
Oh,
nice little
God.
Yeah, that was-
animated
Yeah.
I'm
gems.
swirling with patriotic music.
Oh, yeah, that. Oh, yeah. That was a thing.
Oh, I love the design of the ships. The Decapodian ships, they're all
Yeah.
like little trilobites.
And even grabbing that other ship and eating it like a trilobite would, like grabbing it with both claws. And it was like, "Nom, nom, 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 nom."
And their oppression castle is a cool crab with a sand
Yeah.
castle on it. I think the animators had fun with
Yeah.
the Decapodian designs.
Really satisfying piece of animation in this as well is when they cut the dupe ship, like the head
Oh,
of
they
the ship.
slice it in half.
It's
Oh, yeah.
really satisfying.
Clean, and they should all be dead.
It lands in Central Park and just disappears, which kind of annoys me.
I feel like it would have exploded,
Yeah.
but then the senses are like, no.
all the people.
Also, that's
Good.
got their main characters in there too.
Yes.
Yeah, it just sort of goes poof and disappears, and I was a bit like, is it not gonna have debris or
Like
it just vanishes?
There's a little bit of hope with Kif as well. Like when he's like fire the missiles, and he's like, oh no. It's just like,
No, it looks like they've got the codes. He literally sees the Decapodian escaping and
it's like, maybe we're okay. And even like that's like, prepare to take the blame now.
I like
and
that-
the kiss.
Oh, yes.
No
Goddamn
tongue.
Zap.
I think Kif's got to a point now where he knows every time the situation is going to go completely to shit, but he's somehow going to survive it.
Yeah,
He's just resigned himself that his day-to-day life as an officer is the worst. But he's like,
just
look, I
stretchy,
don't die.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's stretchy. So if he gets like something bad happens to him, he just
Yeah.
takes the impact.
Mucus sacs.
Yeah, that's right.
He doesn't even bother saying to Zap, he's like, look, there's the ship there. Just like, you know what? That's
fine.
about par for the course, really.
Yeah, it's a good strategy. Just don't argue with Zap. You're not getting anywhere.
Is season 4 of Futurama the season where Fry just gets mildly inconvenienced pain and then just goes, ow?
Yeah,
Because we have it again with like
it's
the little crab claw. It's like, ow.
Also, why is Bender upset about being enslaved?
I mean, Bender's upset about a lot of things in this
But
episode.
Pharaoh to remember, he's like,
He loves being a slave.
this is great. I'll show
Yeah.
you how to do it better.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
even think they're slaves in this. I think they're just getting repurposed work because they're free to go about their business.
That sounds like what a slave
Yeah,
would say.
they get knocked off, right? Later
Yeah.
on, they're just lying on the steps of the
Yeah,
Capitol
exactly.
building.
You sound like a slave, though. You guys, you're not slaves.
Yeah,
We're just
exactly.
repurposing
Exactly.
work
That's
for
how do you think I've gotten this far in my life?
What have we been doing so far? Are we just slaves?
Yes,
Oh.
slaves to entertainment.
Love it.
I do like that moment with Leela as well. Today is the day we do something about it.
It's 10 o'clock.
Tomorrow is the day we fight back.
There's two really satisfying things in this. Two, like we haven't mentioned, little bits. The first one is Old Man Waterfall referring to robots. Like, I just think the robots are garbage cans with sparks coming out of them. And it's like, the sparks keep me warm.
Aww.
And the other one, it's a visual joke, but I think I was the only one who laughed there. When they go to the Supreme Court, there's the statue of Justice, blind Justice, holding the scales, which is to indicate that Justice is blind.
Yes.
Yeah.
In the scales is a smaller
Justice.
Justice being outweighed by a big bag of money.
Yes.
So it's the idea that Justice is blind, but it's weighing justice against money.
Yeah.
And it's like one of the longest running arguments against like the legal profession is like, yep, you are all equal and justice is blind, but it's going to cost you an arm and a leg to get in a position there. And it's like, even like district court in South Australia, it's like $30,000 a day, like to have like a case properly heard in like
It's
its
not-
entirety. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
It's not exactly subtle, right? It's
No.
money versus but because it's not, it's just an establishing shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Its
It's not a
placement
line.
is
Yeah.
subtle, which is good. It's
no one
really
no one
clever.
goes like, oh, that's funny. It's like, let's just put this here and people who get it will get it. Everyone else will be like, I don't get it.
Freeze framers, you'll get it.
I feel like there's a bit of a joke, like a referential joke with the justices that they bring out of the Supreme Court, because
Well, I
there's Scalia and other people who are real
Snoop
justices.
Dogg.
Yes, Tupac.
It's Tupac. One of
I
them?
said dog.
I thought it was Tupac.
No, dog.
Is it Snoop Dogg?
Yeah.
I could have sworn it was Tupac.
But some of them are real justices, which
Yeah.
and some of them are still sitting today.
Yeah.
So that's what, 15 years? No. Yeah, 15 years on.
Yeah. But I feel that will start to date and I think some of them, their attitudes are jokes about their real attitudes.
Yeah.
And they sort of go over our heads a little bit.
It's the same in Australia if you make a joke about Justice Kirby on the High Court, and like a lot of people who've done law school in the last like 10 to 15 years. Yeah. Will be
How
like,
witty.
oh, Kirby, you dissenting old man, you're lovely.
And
but
everyone else is like, what are they
yeah, now,
talking
like there's
about?
still cases that like are taught with Kirby and everyone will know Kirby, but the next 20 years are going to be like, Kirby, like the Nintendo character, the popular Nintendo character who got his resurgence in 2030.
Yeah, he was a great lawyer.
Yeah, he was.
I just don't see
Also,
him in the background.
they confer by high speed telepathy.
That's
and
great.
they all spin around.
That
and-
was so satisfying.
when they come for their decision, there's like dramatic lighting. It's
Yeah.
great. I love it.
I also love how very quickly it's like, okay, cool, we found that your act is illegal. We need you to apologize. So he's like, nope. And it's like, okay, instead we'll sentence you to death. And it's like, wait, what? Were they prepared for that? It's like apology or death.
Or death. Yeah, he doesn't get given the full
Yeah.
like rundown of what a sentence is. They just
Yeah.
like, you have to apologize, and when he refuses, they decide to kill him.
That kind of annoys me as well. I'm like, that's against natural justice of like, here's the ruling. okay, you don't want that ruling, death instead. It's like,
I don't
do that.
I don't think it's a very accurate courtroom.
No,
drama.
God, no.
Well,
While
it's
the
been
prosecutor is
1,000 years.
Supreme Court.
things have
Supreme
changed.
Court, man. American Supreme Court.
Yeah, the prosecutor is like giving his opening statements, and Zoidberg just interrupts and starts commenting on it, which is not how courtrooms work.
No.
Then again, I don't think it's striving for realism.
Look,
so
I bet
it's okay.
90% of shows or movies that show a courtroom it's not what happens.
Totally
in the
out of
court.
order. No one speaks like that.
It takes forever. It's
Yeah.
lovely. It takes
Also,
forever.
I should note that because remembering that these episodes get made well before they are presented.
Yes.
There was originally a lot more images of buildings being destroyed.
Oh, I can see that, yeah.
Why would that have not been shown?
Because September 11.
Very much so.
Yes,
Because of
terrorism.
because of threat of a non-Earthican peoples coming and destroying.
Yeah, it's just sort of in the background. There's kind of ruined
Yeah, you
buildings
see,
and stuff,
just
Yes.
outside. There's a really satisfying Bender gag in this episode. We don't get a real Bender function. I mean, he does able
Got
to.
the cow,
He's able to wear a cow catcher like a
Yeah,
big
I mean-
skirt, but it's also just like he sees himself as the crossbow. Like the crossbow.
Oh, that's a great joke.
Yeah, he's just like, sleek, deadly, the Bender of the 16th century, and then like holding it, and then it's like, ow.
Ow. Another ow moment.
Yeah, really satisfying as well. He's like, I'm still happy at what I'm seeing, but that hurts.
I love the fact that it goes through
Yeah,
The
rim
rim
of
of
his
the
visor.
visor,
Yeah.
It's just really something really nice about that joke.
yeah, it's a good episode that I think starts strong, dips when the invasion happens, ends well, and you think
I
you
think
guys,
I just think it's patchy.
Yeah.
With a good silly
patchy's
streak
the
through
best
it.
way to describe it.
And a message, while heavy-handed, that I mostly agree with
Yeah.
some nice subtle points.
Yeah,
to it.
exactly.
I mean, I'm there. I think it ebbs and flows.
Yeah.
I think it just has this moment. I don't think it's a very clear cut. Great, good, great, worst,
Yeah.
great. I think it just kind of has this really ebbs and flows, and
Yeah.
it's on message, kind of goes away on a tangent, comes back, and it does that all the way
Yeah.
through.
The message in it is stronger nowadays than even probably when it
I
came
think
out.
so, yeah.
But when
Yeah.
it hits hard, and when it misses dramatically.
I think the only thing it's really lacking is that part of the triumvirate where it's has a sci-fi staple to bounce off. It has the
yeah,
alien invasion
yeah.
thing, but not heavily.
Yeah,
I'd say it doesn't have much of an emotional center, really.
Yeah,
either.
true, yeah.
I think that's where
Yeah.
it's kind of
Mostly lacking.
lacking. Because what you'll find is if when we listen back to this recording, this was very quote heavy.
yeah.
There's a lot of moments in this episode that like the humor's there. There's a lot of us go, I love this line, I like this
Yeah.
scene, I like this, but as a kind of a whole episode, it doesn't quite.
Yeah.
I mean, it's quite hard to hit like emotional high points with Zoidberg.
Yeah,
no
no one
offense to
gives a shit.
Zoidberg, he is comedy relief. I think.
Because as always, kill Zoidberg.
Yeah, that's right.
Bender hated Zoidberg before it was cool.
Yeah, that's right.
They all did.
Yeah, I think this is a very good like message, and a very good theoretical episode, and a very good and a good laughy episode, but it's not a very good feeling episode. It's a thought rather than a feel.
Yeah.
So
And
it
it's
begs
missing
the
heart.
question:
Yeah,
does this top Leela's homeworld?
I don't think so.
I
Personally.
mean,
I don't think so either.
Is that what's
it's
winning after this interim of time?
it's
Chris, just you know what? Just rewind 10 seconds.
What has been
And
between
now I'm
Leela's...
going to say this. So it begs the question. This is all going to stay in, isn't it?
Yeah.
Begs the question. Does this top Less Than Hero?
Did that actually
yeah,
beat it out?
we topped.
Yes,
yeah.
I love that episode.
Remember, I was swayed over to your side because it had just enough feels and just enough laugh. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
We used the Sean metrics. Of,
Yes, exactly.
I
I think it had heart, feel, and a story.
Yeah.
When this episode started, I was like going to be like, okay, this episode's going to top Less Than Hero, and then the first patchy bit happened. I was like, okay, it's not a consistent episode the whole way through. It's a great episode, a lovely episode, wonderful story, and it got me to talk about law, which I always love, but it's not as good. It's not.
I don't think it is as good. I think for me the big difference is energy. I think
Yeah.
Less Than Hero has an amazing
buoyancy, yeah.
energy and does not let up, and just the superhero idea is gives a lot of license
Yeah.
to push
Yeah.
the humor out there a bit more.
Another episode without a sci-fi-esque thing. That was a superhero episode. This one's a war episode.
Yeah.
But there was thought, feeling, heart in Less Than Hero, and this one doesn't have the heart, and it doesn't have as much of the feel.
Yeah,
either.
I don't think there's as much heart
Yeah.
No.
in there's not that much heart in Less Than Hero.
I think when
there's
it's
a bit.
It's a romp. There's a romp.
Yeah,
It's a romp,
when
yeah.
she's with her parents.
Yes,
That's when you get the heart.
It
It's like,
does
that's-
introduce a little
yeah.
bit of it, but
That's
this
lovely.
doesn't have that
No.
nearly at all.
Yeah, I think if you have to boil it down, I think this gives you a taste
Of-
of what a great episode could be. But in the end, it's just a little bit less than.
Oh,
Less Than Hero.
You are killing it there, Sean.
Just like we want to kill Zoidberg.
So just for everyone at home, if you didn't pick up on our thought
Voting.
process,
Yeah, voting.
So instead, we'll give you a simple one. Less Than Hero. Still
Less
wins.
Than Hero.
Still running the gauntlet.
That's it's a big 3 for 3. 3 votes for Less Than Hero over this one.
So if you want to join us back next week, and
Voice.
let's be honest, you do.
Yes.
You have to wait until we've done the voice.
Yes.
How am I reminding you about the format of
That's
your
okay.
own show?
We're all
Look,
reminding each other something at any time.
This is all over the place. It's all good. It's all
Allow the
G.
subliminal advertisement to hit
I
you.
also apologise for how harsh that was. Voice.
Yeah.
Sean.
Fucking voice.
I think that
you dickbag.
Yeah, I was about to say.
That's what I was trying to convey.
Yeah, I got it.
It really came across. I think is this your payback for us making fun of the
Yes.
yeah, sorry,
Yes, it
yeah.
is.
Do we go with Old Man Waterfall? Really?
I didn't lose my hand and half of my small intestines to hoist a flag made of my own skin on some foreign world.
Hot damn, I can't wait to tell my husband.
Make sure I have a satanic funeral. I mean, yeah, it's because the other thing would be is let's voice any of the Decapodians, which are all Zoidberg's.
It's just Zoidberg impressions, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
No, we've done it. It's good.
Exactly.
yeah.
Old Man Waterfall has to be Old Man Waterfall.
Old
also.
Man Waterfall, rest in peace.
Also known as sometimes just called Old Man.
Just
It's
Old Man.
Never gonna remember
I
that.
can't remember that.
Old Man Waterfall's great.
Now I can do it, can't I?
Yes.
Yes.
You
So,
can do the thing.
if you would like to join us next week, which of course you do,
course you do.
please join us for Bender Should Not Be Allowed on Television.
Oh, it's the Fathers Against Rude Television.
Yeah, fart.
Farter.
Fart.
Not Das Farters.
Yes.
I can't believe I remembered that off the top of my head.
It's one of those episodes that has the line that is the title of the episode.
Yeah.
Bender should not be allowed on television.
Yeah. It's also got one of my favorite quotes in all of Futurama.
Which is...
Find out what that is.
If you have an idea on what you think Josh's favourite line is, please let us know at babybeardmedia@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. Any comments, thoughts, suggestions, insults, or threats. Please send them
Especially
through.
the threats.
Yeah, we will report them to the police.
Well, you might.
If you
have a
are
lawyer.
more of a, if you're more of a less of an email person and more of a social media person, we have Twitter, we have Instagram, we have Facebook. Join us on those. You can find out about all our shows and podcasts and stuff as they come up.
Or just drop a meme, or you know what I mean.
Oh,
And if you're less of an email and a social media person and just don't want to engage with us, but also want to let us know that we're doing a good job, give us a thumbs up, a couple of 5 stars, or give us a shining face of Reba, just so that Sean has to look at Reba's face in the comments, or just email Baby Beard Media. Pictures of Reba, episode links to Reba. Let's talk about Reba.
That's going right into the trash.
In all seriousness, if you do want to support us and you think more people should listen to us, do rate us or leave a comment. It really helps us get in front of more ears.
Yeah.
That's on the iTunes page, by the way. So, yeah, go on to iTunes and just skyrock us. Skyrock us?
Skyrock us.
Rocket
Skyrock us.
Skyrock us.
Like a sky hurricane.
Skyrock us, Amadeus.
into the stratosphere of popularity and joyousness.
You want us to be better than Reba, don't you?
Yeah, well, not hard. Until that time, I have been Sean.
I have been Phil.
And I've been Josh, being taken away by the pterodactyl, which is Aaron!
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
I feel like I need to get rid of those woodies at some point. They're creeping me out every time I look at them.
Yeah, there's, don't worry, I can give you some advice. A couple of minutes to get rid of your woodies.
Hey, rub it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
My man.
My man.
This is what happens when we go to having 3 men on a podcast, is we start with dicks and we end with dicks.
Yep. Everything
Yep.
starts and ends with a dick.
Speaking of starting with a dick, here comes Phil right now.
Oh, funny.
I've got it. By
I think
God.
I've got mine.
By
Yeah,
Jove. Sean's got it.
He's my Venus. He's on fire. Your
Sean's
desire. What with the podcast and such?